You know that moment when a friend asks, should I finally get a piano or just keep using the keyboard app on my phone? I've been there a lot trying to weigh the excitement of finally having a proper instrument against the fear of spending a chunk of cash on something that ends up gathering dust. That hesitation is real, especially when you're looking at something like the Kawai ES920. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And I'm going to walk through why this piano might be the right answer for some people and a costly misstep for others. First off, let's talk about why the ES920 feels different from the cheap, plastic keystage pianos that flood the market. Kawai's responsive Hammer 3 action is their flagship mechanism, and it really does mimic the feel of an acoustic grand. The keys are weighted, and each hammer-type action responds to how hard you press. So a light touch yields a soft tone, and a hard strike gives you that satisfying, resonant bite. If you've ever tried a budget digital piano that feels like you're playing on a slab of foam, you'll notice the difference instantly. For anyone who's been practicing on a low-end keyboard and feels their technique slipping, the ES920 can actually help you develop finger strength and dynamics the way a real piano would. Now, who should consider this model? If you're a serious hobbyist who already knows a bit about piano and wants to move past the toy stage, the ES920 is a solid next step. It's also a great fit for small space apartments because the 88-key format gives you the full range without the massive footprint of a traditional upright. The built-in stereo speaker system is loud enough for a living room jam session, and the sleek black finish looks good on any wall. Music teachers who need a reliable instrument for lessons will appreciate the consistency of the action and the fact that the piano can split the keyboard into two zones for duets or teacher-student play. If you're a gigging musician who needs a portable stage piano that can plug straight into a PA without hauling an amp, the built-in speakers plus Bluetooth audio can simplify your rig. On the flip side, there are clear cases where you might want to pass. If you're a concert-level pianist looking for the nuance of a concert grand, the ES920, despite its high-end action, still can't replicate the complex overtones of a fully acoustic instrument. The speakers are good for practice and small performances, but in a larger hall they'll quickly sound thin, so you'd need external amplification. Also, if you're hoping for a lot of built-in recording or looping features, you'll be disappointed. Kawai has kept the interface clean, focusing on playability rather than studio tools. Finally, the price point sits higher than entry-level digital pianos, so if you're just testing the waters or you're on a very tight budget, there are cheaper options that will still let you learn the basics. Let's drill into the practical strengths that matter after you open the box. The 256-note polyphony means you can hold down massive chords, use sustain pedals, and layer sounds without the notes cutting off. In real terms, that translates to a smoother legato when you're playing romantic repertoire that often has overlapping voices. The dual split modes are another handy feature. You can set the left hand to a bass sound and the right hand to a piano tone, or even split the keyboard for two different sounds entirely. I've seen teachers use this to have the student play a melody while the teacher provides a simple accompaniment on the same instrument, no extra gear needed. Bluetooth connectivity is surprisingly useful. You can stream your favorite backing track straight to the piano's speakers, which is great for practicing with a band feel without setting up a laptop. The same Bluetooth MIDI capability lets you connect to apps on your phone or tablet, so you can record your practice sessions, use learning software, or even control virtual instruments. The latency is low enough that it feels natural, which is something many musicians worry about when they first try wireless MIDI. Now, about the weaknesses that become apparent once you start using it day to day. The first thing people notice is that the speaker system, while decent, can become a bit harsh if you crank the volume for a full room sound. The treble can edge into a thin edge, which is fine for practice, but not ideal for a serious performance. Because the ES920 is a stage piano, it doesn't come with a built-in metronome or a wide array of demo songs features you might find on more beginner-focused keyboards. That means you'll need an external app or a separate metronome if you rely on those tools. The piano is also on the heavier side for a portable instrument. It's not something you'll want to toss in a backpack for a weekend gig, though rolling it on its small built-in caster wheels is manageable for most venues. One more subtle trade-off is the lack of a traditional sustain pedal.